Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Golden Wellness Guide channel. This is the place where we explore, together, how to live our most active, healthy, and vibrant lives, well into our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. I'm your host, the founder of Golden Wellness Guide, and it's truly a pleasure and a privilege to be with you today. We're going to be talking about a subject that is fundamental to our well-being: exercise. Now, we all know it's good for us. That message has been loud and clear for decades. But as we journey through life, our relationship with exercise needs to evolve. The rulebook we followed in our 30s and 40s might not just be outdated, it might be actively working against us. So let's ask a crucial question. Could some of the exercises we've been doing for years, the ones we trust, the ones that feel familiar, actually be putting our health, specifically our brain health, at risk? This topic was recently thrust into the spotlight by a brain doctor whose video on the subject went viral. He raised an alarm about common exercises potentially increasing the risk of stroke in older adults. And that's a scary thought. It's the kind of information that can make you want to stop exercising altogether. But that is the absolute last thing we want to do. Today, on Golden Wellness Guide, our mission is to turn that fear into empowerment. We're going to dismantle the alarm and replace it with a blueprint for intelligent, safe, and joyful movement. We will dive deep into the science, but in a way that's clear and practical. We'll look at those specific exercises that have come under scrutiny, understand exactly why the risk exists, and then, and this is the most important part, we will equip you with a toolkit of safer, more effective alternatives. This isn't about creating a list of things you can't do. It's about discovering all the amazing things you can do to feel strong, balanced, and confident. So, find a comfortable seat, perhaps grab a cup of tea, and let's begin this important journey together. Let's learn how to move for a lifetime. Before we get into the what, we need to start with the why. Why does a 65-year-old body respond so differently to exercise than a 35-year-old one? It's not a story of decline, it's a story of adaptation. Our bodies have carried us through decades of work, family, joy, and stress. They are wise, and they are asking us to listen to that wisdom. Let's start with our cardiovascular system. As we age, our arteries, the highways that carry oxygen-rich blood, naturally become a bit stiffer. The flexible fibers called elastin decrease, and the more rigid fibers, collagen, increase. This is a process called arteriosclerosis. Think of a young artery as a brand new rubber band, very stretchy and responsive. An older artery is more like a rubber band that's been sitting in a desk drawer for years. It still works, but it's less pliable. This means our system for regulating blood pressure has to work a bit differently. Which brings us to a key player: baroreceptors. Imagine you have a highly advanced thermostat in your home that instantly adjusts the temperature. Baroreceptors are like that, but for blood pressure. They are tiny sensors in your major arteries that detect pressure changes and send lightning-fast signals to the brain. When you stand up, gravity pulls blood down. Pressure in your head drops, and these sensors immediately tell your heart, pump a little harder, get that blood back upstairs. With age, these sensors can become a bit less sensitive. The signal is still sent, but it might be a little delayed. It's like the message has to go through a slightly less efficient switchboard. That brief delay is why we sometimes feel a flash of dizziness or lightheadedness when we stand up too quickly. It's a sign that our brain experienced a momentary dip in its blood supply. And that's a sign we need to pay attention to. Next, let's talk about our incredible musculoskeletal system. We've all heard of osteoporosis, the loss of bone density. But equally important is sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and function. Starting around age 30, this process begins, and it can accelerate after 60 if we're not active. We particularly tend to lose our fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for quick, powerful movements, like catching ourselves if we start to trip. This directly impacts our balance, our gait, and our ability to react swiftly. And what about our connective tissues? The ligaments that connect bone to bone and the tendons that connect muscle to bone. They lose some of their water content over time. They become less hydrated and more brittle. This is why a proper warm-up isn't just a good idea. It's non-negotiable. It's the difference between stretching a warm, pliable piece of taffy and trying to stretch a cold, stiff one. Finally, let's touch on a hidden sense: proprioception. This is your nervous system's ability to understand where your body parts are in space without you having to look. Close your eyes and touch your nose. That's proprioception. As we get older, the nerve signals that provide this feedback can slow down, making us a little less coordinated and less aware of our joint positions. This is a major factor in fall risk. So, when you weave all these threads together, the stiffer arteries, the slower pressure sensors, the changes in muscle fiber, the less pliable tendons, and the slightly faded map of our bodies in our brains, you get a clear picture. The explosive, high-impact, sudden movement workouts of our youth are no longer the best fit. Our wise bodies are asking for a new kind of movement that is controlled, mindful, and intentional. All right, let's get to the heart of our discussion here on Golden Wellness Guide. We're going to walk through those 9 exercises. For each one, I'll share a little story. We'll break down the risk, and then we'll build a better, safer alternative. First, the standing toe touch. Let's picture John. John is 72 and has started every day for years with 10 deep toe touches. But lately, when he stands back up, he feels a dizzying head rush and has to grab onto his dresser. John's experience is a classic case of orthostatic hypotension. When he bends and then snaps back up, his brain's oxygen supply dips for a few critical seconds. This head rush is a warning sign. The safest and most effective alternative is the supine hamstring stretch. Lie comfortably on your back, loop a towel or a strap around the ball of your right foot, and gently straighten that leg up toward the ceiling. Go only until you feel a gentle stretch. Hold this for 30 to 60 seconds, breathing deeply, then switch sides. This method is superior because your head and heart stay on the same level. Second on our list is inverted yoga poses. Let's think of Mary, 68, who feels an uncomfortable, intense pressure in her head and neck during poses like a shoulder stand. Mary is feeling a rapid surge in blood pressure. For a system with stiffer arteries, this surge could strain a weak blood vessel or dislodge arterial plaque. A wonderfully safe alternative is the legs up the chair pose. Lie on your back and rest your lower legs on the seat of a sturdy chair. Your head and heart are safe, but you're still getting the gentle circulatory benefits. Rest here for 5 to 10 minutes, just focusing on your breath. Third, heavy, straining lifts. David, 75, is moving a heavy bag of potting soil. He bends over, grabs it, and gives a mighty heave. Holding his breath, he has just performed the Valsalva maneuver, causing his blood pressure to momentarily skyrocket. The safer way is to always exhale on exertion. Inhale as you prepare, and exhale slowly through the most difficult part of the lift. This releases the pressure. And for strength training, instead of lifting one very heavy weight, switch to lighter weights or resistance bands for more repetitions. Fourth, rapid sit to stands. The risk here is, again, orthostatic hypotension from the quick change in elevation. The safer alternative is the slow, controlled sit to stand. Place a sturdy chair against a wall. Take about 3 seconds to slowly rise to a standing position, and 4 seconds to slowly lower yourself back down. The focus is on control, not speed. Fifth, walking in extreme heat. The danger here is dehydration, which thickens your blood and makes it more prone to clotting. Our thirst mechanism becomes less reliable with age. The safe alternative is to be strategic. Walk in the cooler parts of the day, like early morning or evening, and hydrate before, during, and after your walk, even if you don't feel thirsty. Sixth, jerky neck circles. This is a surprisingly high-risk movement. Rapid or extreme neck movements can cause a tear in the vertebral arteries. The safer way is to think gentle and linear. Instead of circles, slowly tilt your head from side to side, holding the stretch. Then slowly turn your head to look over each shoulder. Never roll your head all the way back. 7th, high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. HIIT involves pushing your heart rate to its maximum, which can be too much of a shock for an older cardiovascular system. A safer alternative is moderate-intensity interval training. For example, during your walk, alternate between a normal pace for 3 minutes and a brisk, more purposeful pace for 1 minute. Repeat this cycle. 8th on our list, stretching cold muscles. This is a huge fitness myth. Trying to stretch a cold muscle is like trying to stretch a cold rubber band. It can lead to micro tears. The new wisdom is to warm up first, then stretch. Your warm-up should be 5 to 10 minutes of light, dynamic activity like marching in place or arm circles. Save the deep, static stretches for your cool down. And 9th, unsupported balance exercises. We must practice balance, but the risk of falling is too great to do it without support. The safer alternative is to practice every day with the golden rule. Always have something sturdy to hold onto. Stand behind a kitchen counter and practice standing on one foot. Tai Chi is also one of the best activities on the planet for safely improving balance. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's build a positive, powerful blueprint for lifelong fitness. First and foremost, your cornerstone. Talk to your doctor. I cannot overstate this. Your doctor and your physical therapist are your partners. Before you begin or change your routine, have a conversation. Now, let's talk about the structure of your week. Built on 4 essential pillars. Pillar 1 is aerobic or endurance exercise. This is for your heart. The goal is at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week. Moderate means you can still talk, but you couldn't easily sing a song. Brisk walking is the gold standard, but also consider swimming, dancing, or cycling. Remember, 3 10-minute walks throughout the day are just as effective as 1 30-minute walk. Pillar 2 is strength training. This is our fight against muscle and bone loss. Aim for at least 2 days a week. A great mini routine could be a circuit of wall push-ups, or controlled sit-to-stands, and bicep curls with resistance bands. Do about 10 repetitions of each, and go through the circuit 2 or 3 times. Pillar 3 is balance work. Practice this every single day. Start by standing behind a sturdy chair, holding on, and practice standing on one foot. As that becomes easy, progress to holding on with just one hand, then just your fingertips. Pillar 4 is flexibility and mobility. Remember, deep stretching is for the end of your workout. During your cool down, after your walk, take a few minutes for key stretches like a calf stretch or a chest stretch. Hold each one for 30 to 60 seconds and breathe into it. Whatever you do, be present. This mind-body connection not only makes exercise more enjoyable, but it also dramatically improves your form and reduces the risk of injury. We have covered so much ground today. We've looked at the science, we've debunked some myths, and we've built a positive path forward. If there is just one message you take away from our time together today at Golden Wellness Guide, let it be this: aging is not about stopping. It is about getting smarter. It is about listening to the profound wisdom of your own body and responding with kindness and intelligence. It's about gracefully letting go of the habits that no longer serve you and embracing new strategies that will carry you forward with strength, confidence, and independence. Movement is a celebration of what your body can do, and with the right knowledge, you can ensure that every step, every stretch, and every lift is a step towards a healthier brain, a stronger body, and a more vibrant life. Start small. Pick one safer alternative to try this week. Take one 10-minute walk. The journey to lasting health is not a sprint, it's a steady, joyful walk. Thank you for joining me on the Golden Wellness Guide channel. Be well, be strong, and be wonderfully, brilliantly you. I'll see you in our next video.